My husband told me to lose weight and stop caring about me after I gave birth, so I'm dropping all that useless weight by divorcing him. I, 28F, have been with my husband, 29M, for 7 years, married for 5, and we also have a 3-year-old child together. After having the baby, I struggled a lot with losing the baby weight and adjusting to being a parent. I also experienced the baby blues at first, which was tough. I wasn't really focused on my appearance. Instead, I was trying to figure out our new routine and way of life. My husband, instead of being supportive, started making these little comments about my body and how I should start working out and wearing makeup again. It made me feel really awful, and I worried that he might start looking elsewhere because we weren't being intimate anymore. He even suggested hiring a nanny so I could have more time for myself, but I wanted to be there for our baby full time, so I turned down the offer. That made him angry, and he started acting extremely cold towards me. Months went by without any hugs, kisses, romance, or any kind of affection, and my self-esteem hit rock bottom. Every time I looked in the mirror, all I saw were the flaws that my husband pointed out. By this point, our son was already 2 years old, and I desperately wanted to win my husband back. I thought that if I got in shape again, he would show me love and affection, and our marriage would be saved. I craved his attention so much, and it hurt to see how much things had changed, but you can't force someone to be affectionate. So, I took matters into my own hands and hired some help. With more free time, I started going to the gym, taking swimming classes, getting my hair and lashes done regularly, and eating healthier. And guess what? I've lost a ton of weight, and I feel amazing. Suddenly, my husband started touching me, kissing me, buying me flowers, and treating me like the complete opposite of how he treated me before. You'd think that would make me feel better, but for some reason, it made me feel worse. All I could think about were the hurtful things he said to me when I was at my lowest and how cold he was towards me. I get that you can't force attraction, but why couldn't he just hug me or give me a kiss on the cheek even when I was overweight? Why couldn't he love me as a human being and the mother of his child? When my self-esteem came back, I got really angry at myself for putting up with his behavior for so long. A few days ago, I told him I wanted a divorce because I don't think I can move past how badly he treated me. He apologized and promised to change and prove that he can be better, but honestly, I'm not sure if I can trust him again. What if I gain weight again or have to deal with health issues? Will he treat me like garbage again? I've talked to some friends and family about the situation, and some say I should give him another chance, while others say I should leave him. So, I'm turning to outsiders for some perspective. Am I justified in being upset over this? Update 1. Thank you all for the advice you gave me after my last post. It was really tough to make a decision, especially considering our son. So, I sat down with my husband and had a conversation about what happened. He kept saying sorry, but I asked him if he actually understood why his behavior was hurtful. He just kept saying he was being a jerk, but I felt like he didn't really grasp why it was a problem, so I broke it down for him. I told him that saying I still look pregnant 3 months after giving birth or calling me a mess because of my dark circles, rolling his eyes when I wanted to show affection, not talking to me for days without any reason, and not wanting to spend time together were all really hurtful. On top of that, he didn't offer any help so I could take care of my mental health. Instead, he wanted me to go to the gym and get in shape. When I reminded him of all this, he couldn't even look me in the eye and didn't say a word. The silence in the room was so thick, you could cut it with a knife. I just don't think he fully understands how badly he treated me. No amount of extra weight can justify that kind of behavior. I wouldn't treat a stranger like that, let alone someone I love. But for the sake of our son, I still offered him couples counseling. And guess what? He refused. He said he was afraid that the therapist and I would team up against him and make things worse. We went round and round in circles, and after almost 3 hours of talking, I finally had enough and told him I wanted a divorce. He tried to convince me that he could prove he can change, but when I asked him how, he just said I had to have faith in him and see it for myself down the line. That's just not good enough for me. I told him I was taking our son to my mom's place for the weekend, and that we would discuss everything before finalizing the divorce on Monday. He said okay, and we left, but now he won't stop blowing up my phone, begging for a second chance and telling me how much he loves me and how he made a mistake. It's really disheartening to see how much he changed after we had our son. All I ever wanted from him was love, loyalty, and respect, but he didn't give me any of that in the past few years. I still wanted to give him a chance, but he doesn't want to put in the work to make things better. If it comes to that, I'll be able to raise our son on my own as I'm financially independent and secure. I also have a lot of help, so it'll be okay. I still want him to be a part of our son's life and be the best father he can be, but I can't be with someone who doesn't love or respect me. I thought my husband was the person I would grow old with, but it seems the universe has other plans for me. It will be really hard to let him go, but I'm hoping it's for the better. I wanted to thank you again for all your support and the advice you gave me.